Alright, so that was the epoxy. We got that in and everything, and now as you see, we've got strings. Alright, so, and I've already intonated it, so that's all set up, ready to go. And got the pickup in. So, okay, there's a look at the guitar with the tuner on it. So what we're going to do is this thing has been sitting overnight. So this has been a while since the last video. Alright, let's see if it stayed in tune overnight. Let's see what's going on. Ooh, look at that. Not bad at all. Not bad. Okay, not bad. Ooh, look at that one. Just a hair sharp. Pretty much right on. Not bad at all. That's not perfect, but not bad. Okay. So, let's look at the action on this thing. Okay. So, I just set the bridge, just pounded the studs all the way in down to where it met with the body. Didn't do any special measurements or anything. Alright, let's see if I can get a good shot here. Alright, so there we go. Now it may be hard to tell from your eyes, but that's about a strong 16th, weak 8th off the fretboard there, or off the fret. Okay, and let's flip it over. See if we can get a shot from this side. Yeah, it's a little bit harder this way. The camera keeps going in and out. Try to get it here. Okay, it's about the same. And we're pretty well balanced when it comes down the fret. This way, the radius I should say. Once again, it might be hard to get a good shot of it. But it's real good. You'll see here in a second. And I'll do some playing here in a little bit so you can hear it. Okay, so once again we got a Pearly Gates Seymour Duncan. It's alright. It's not my favorite pickup that I ever had, but it'll work. Okay, let's look at the body since we got a shot. As you can see, there's a lot of tear away in this. This is just a cheap body, nothing special. I think this is spalted maple if I remember correctly. So it's rough, and I'm going to keep it that way. I might just throw a little bit of stain that I got on, sand some of this down, get the marks off, and throw a little stain on it, and then put some sanding sealer, and that'll probably be it. I don't know, I might relic it or whatever. Okay, while we're on the thing of the strings, I need to point something out about neck dive. I showed these tuners before, and what the conflicting information was about these tuners is there's a couple different things. I looked up, didn't know who made these tuners in the first place. I just happened to be looking around Amazon one day, and I ran across ones that looked similar to this, and I thought, oh, that looks like the ones I got. I checked into it, and it was. Now, these are Graphtec tuners, and there's a discrepancy here that if you see, that one says patented. Well, Graphtec has on their website where they sell some that say Pat Penned. And the information they give for 6 tuners, they say the weight of those 6 tuners are 0.496. Well, the people that sell these tuners right here on Amazon say it goes from 11.9 to 12 ounces for each set of 6. So there's quite a bit of difference there. You know, there's almost 6, well, let's just say 6.5 ounce difference. So if you're looking at the most lightweight tuner, you know, I don't know what to say. I contacted GraphTech. Their representative told me to take them off and weigh them. Well, I'm not going to buy a scale just to double check their quality control, whether who is correct or not. All I'm concerned of as a consumer is I'm getting the lightest weight tuner I can get, because I'm trying to reduce the body weight as much as I can and not get neck dive. And also, it may not be the tuner's fault for neck dive. You know, the whole balance of the guitar has to come from the neck and the body. So sometimes it may not always be that you got tuners that are too heavy. It could be just the balance of the two. So what I did as a test is I took some pennies, rolled them up in a piece of tape, and stuck them down in the corner down here, and taped them in so they didn't move. Now let me flip the camera around real quick here. Alright, so this was the test I did the first time. Then my pennies fell out. Alright, so, God darn it, then they fell out again. Okay, so I should have grabbed a piece of tape. They will not stay in there. Let's do that. Okay, so what I did is I just did a simple test of this. Just let go of the guitar and see if it neck dive. Well, now you see there isn't any neck dive. Well, I added that little bit of extra weight there. Okay, to be fair, let's take the pennies out. Put them down here. Now let's see what happens. See? Now all of a sudden when I let go, okay, we get neck dive. But the whole premise is, once again, is I don't want to make it any heavier. Even though these pennies, I have no idea how much they weigh. There's probably about, I don't know, 10, 15 pennies here. To keep it as lightweight as possible. So I guess, you know, this amount of weight really isn't that much of a concern, because if you put tuners in here, volume and tone knob, and get 4 of them on there, and everything else that goes back in here, that might add the same amount as what this is. So it's possible you could end up with balance that way. Personally, if I do anything, I'll add just a volume knob and probably put it right down here or in this hole, kind of out of the way, because if I'm strumming like this, I always have a tendency to hit stuff. So it's best that keep that clear. And I don't use a tone knob a whole lot when I play either. It usually stays, 10, depending on, sometimes I might turn it down to 7. So it all depends on the situation. Okay, so the back of the neck looks pretty much like the shot last time. Okay, so I just wanted to clear up that neck dive issue, because it was pointed out to me from the representative of GraphTech that I might not have been too fair with them on my assessment of neck dive, but I was never trying to infer that GraphTech tuners was the problem of the neck dive. I'm just trying to build the lightest weight guitars I possibly can and avoid neck dive, because when I'm practicing, I don't want to sit here and hold the neck up all the time every time I'm playing, or have it on me and the guitar wants to do this with the strap. Plus, I'm thinking about, on my guitars, is chambering the body. I have a piece of plywood that I ordered that's 1/4 of an inch thick, and it's Baltic birch plywood. And it's big enough to cover the whole area here. And I made a template design that I traced out on a piece of cardboard, leaving this part is going to be solid, of course, for the pickups and the bridge. That's important that they have enough strength to hold, especially in the bridge area. And I'll just route this all out 1/4 of an inch deep with my pattern, whatever pattern I decide to do. Take that out and then fit the plywood. Well, actually, I'll make the plywood first as a template and then trace it out and then route it out the best I can. This is going to be freehand, so it might be a little sketchy on whether I can follow it exactly. But once again, a cheap body, just being used as a, an example to get me going on my quest to make my own guitars. So this was the easiest way I could think of to chamber the body. So once again, I'll just cut all this out at 1/4 of an inch deep. And then when I come to chamber it, I'll just router all this out, leaving the center block again and around the edge. So I'll leave probably about like a 1/2 inch strip around here. That's still solid. We'll see when it comes time to do it. It's going to be a while. I have a commitment coming up that I can't get out of. That's going to take a couple of months. So we'll see what happens in the future. All right, so let's do a little playing so you can hear what it sounds like. A little open chord playing here. Okay, not too bad. I'm not going to sit here and try and impress you with my playing because I can't do that. Alright, and I haven't warmed up yet today, and all the other excuses you give yourself when you sound like shit. Alright. So now let's gain this up and do a little rock and roll in. Gotta do a little AC/DC finish there. Alright, we'll see you in the next video. Peace.